Ugh. I got a free refill and these things are like 10 bucks. I'm gonna get my money's worth. I'm just joking, it's only $5. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. We are back with another review, and today we are talking about The Upside, starring Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. And I know you guys are wondering, no, I have not seen the film that this is actually based off of. This is a remake of a movie called The Untouchables. I have not seen that movie, and I was going to go back and watch it this week, and then I thought to myself, you know what? If The Untouchables is truly as good as people are saying, then it's probably going to make this film nowhere near as good. So I will get to The Untouchables, and I will keep you guys updated on how I feel about that. If you want to see my thoughts, follow me on Letterboxd for sure.
Oh, you haven't seen The Untouchables, Austin. You're truly not a fan of the films.
I'll see it eventually, but right now we're talking about The Upside, the movie starring Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart. Let's get into the good. So The Upside is a comedic look at the relationship between a wealthy quadriplegic man and an unemployed man with a criminal record who's hired to help him. This film is directed by Burke, and this movie caught my attention when I first saw the behind-the-scenes pictures a long time ago. It seems like a year and a half, 2 years ago. This movie has changed release dates multiple times. I don't know if it's because of the quality or it's just the fact that it couldn't really find a month to release, because really, how do you market this? Do you market it as a remake? Do you market it as a Kevin Hart movie, as a Bryan Cranston film? If you market it as a remake, you will have fans who clearly love the original, and I take nothing away from you. I will probably love it too, because I enjoy a nice story like this, and I enjoy it when it's very well told. But if you see here in this picture, I actually took this screenshot about a week ago. This is a screenshot before The Upside was released in theaters. Now, I know a few people had seen it, but that's just a few. I know 1,324 people did not see this movie, and I know 703 people giving it 1 star is complete and utter BS. My goodness, if you are part of rating a movie before you have seen it, even if it looks like the worst film in the history of man, you should be banned from every movie review site on the internet. I know that's controversial. I know I'll get dislikes on this video because of that statement, but I don't care. It is not fair to judge a movie before it comes out. I've not even told you guys how I feel about this film yet, but I have no right to judge it before I see it. I feel that way about every movie, even if it looks horrible, and I say that's the worst trailer I've ever seen, and I can say this film's probably going to be bad. I can't go on there and give it 1 star because it's just not fair. And guys, I know The Untouchables is a beloved movie. I've heard about it multiple times, and it's completely and utterly 1,000% my bad that I have not seen that film yet. I promise I'll get to it eventually. Eventually meaning probably soon, because I want to watch it after watching The Upside. But in a way, it helps me judge it even better because I don't have an original to base it off of. I am just judging this movie standalone based on nothing but itself. And I have to say, I did find getting into the review finally, I did find elements of this movie charming. I liked the performances. I thought Kevin Hart, regardless of what's happening in real life right now, his performance in this film, that's all I'm focused on. I found Kevin Hart to be quite good in this film. His character is unlikable at times, yes, but his performance and doing something different, being more subtle and more reserved, I like that. I want to see more of that. I kept thinking, Kevin Hart's going to scream here, Kevin Hart's going to laugh really loud here, and he did once or twice, but it was part of the comedic bit. Overall, though, I think Kevin Hart really impressed me in this movie. I don't know why people are being so hard. I get why they're being harsh on him in real life right now, and I'm going to separate that from this conversation, but in this film, I thought he kind of turned over a new leaf, and I personally, this is me, enjoyed his performance. I also enjoyed Bryan Cranston's performance. It's a performance. He is an actor. He is allowed to play whoever he signs up for, and I do not blame him for choosing this role because I thought he fit the part. I thought he did a good job. I liked their relationship. I liked their dynamics. You can tell that they're having a really good time making this movie. And sometimes, yes, that's a bad thing, but it's only a really bad thing if the script is bad and they're having fun because they're having so much fun with the bad script script, but I don't think the script is bad here. I thought the subtle humor worked. I thought the relationship worked, and the only reason this movie will work for you is if you buy into their relationship. It's a movie based around them. Yes, Nicole Kidman is in there, and she is really good, as she always is. It doesn't matter what movie she's in, but it's all about those two. And those two, for me, are the reason why I had a good time watching this. Do I have issues, especially when it comes to the filmmaking? Absolutely. And if you don't like this movie for those reasons, I get it. And once again, if you love the original so much it makes you not like the upside once you see it, that is also fine. But just don't judge the movie before you see it. Go see it, make up your mind then. I have so many movies that if they remade them, I would be so mad. I'd still see the film, but I would be so mad, and I probably would not like it as much as the original. Now that I've seen this, I'm excited to go see what all the commotion is about, because this story itself intrigued me, and it really intrigued me while I was watching it with this cast, with these characters. And I'm not saying it dives super deep. I'm not saying it fleshes out these characters like I wanted it to necessarily. There are things that keep this movie from being really good or great, but I do think it was a decent little film because the relationship works so well on screen. And can we use the word charming? Sometimes you see a movie and you see flaws. There are clearly things wrong with it, but at the end of the day, you walk out of the theater and you kind of have a smirk on your face because I was charmed by the script. I was charmed by the way that the story went. Sometimes you just want to see a happy film. You want to feel good about those characters. You want to feel good about what you just saw on screen. And sometimes that's all an audience asks for. I have to say my audience was cracking up. They were enjoying it. And when it was over, there were even a couple of people that applauded. I'm not saying I did because I didn't like it that much, but this is clearly a movie made for the general audience, and I do think a lot of the general audience, if you have not seen the original, will enjoy it. I think some of the humor was in poor taste, but I chuckled more in this film, way more than I chuckled in a movie like Holmes and Watson, which is a clear-cut studio comedy, and the reason for that movie's existence is to make you laugh. This movie's existence is not to make you laugh. This movie's existence is to get you connected to these characters, and you laugh at their situations at times. That's one of my issues, and I'll go into it in the negatives, but the fact that this made me laugh more than a straight-up comedy, it's a good thing. If you tell me you don't like this movie because you see way too many things wrong with the filmmaking, I get it. Because the film starts off and I'm watching the film style and the camera movements and just the odd realism of the color correction. I'm like, something is off about this movie. It doesn't feel legit to me. It feels a bit like a Lifetime film, a film that belongs on television in a way, and it keeps that flow throughout the entire thing, but I got more adjusted to it, more used to it, and I cared so much about these characters it didn't bother me as much. But when I walked out of the movie, I thought to myself, you know what? The filmmaking itself wasn't the best. I've seen too many close-ups, too many shots that followed our characters when I don't think it called for it. And once again, I don't think it's so bad that it's jarring. It's just something that I paid attention to, and I did not love the cinematography in this movie. That's something that could have enhanced the entire experience. And like I said in the good, some of the jokes, they just came off like, you're pushing it too far. They came off in poor taste. It didn't flow with the rest of the humor, which I really enjoyed. There were one or two in there that I'm thinking of right now, and I'm like, you could have went without it. And I also had some issues with the music. Sometimes it would be like that cliched 90s romantic comedy music. It's like, doot, doot, doot. And then other times it would swell up and get really heartfelt. And I'm like, all right, let's pick a tone and stick to it here. Do you want to be really heartfelt and emotional, or do you want to be really chuckly and funny? It's like I enjoyed both things in a way, but they didn't mesh like I wanted it to. I wish it would have come together a bit better. And then we get to the ending, and it did feel a bit rushed. It's like we have this giant build-up, and then we get to the end, and it kind of just cuts off, and it's like, oh, I wanted more with those relationships. I wanted more with these characters to see where they go, and it was a bit awkward, a bit abrupt of an actual ending when it cut to the credits. Didn't like it as much as I wanted to. The flashbacks felt sloppy, a bit overly melodramatic. I've seen some scathing reviews of this movie, and I get it, but sometimes you just walk out of a movie, you're like, wow, that really kind of charmed me, and that's what The Upside did. I didn't hate this movie as much as everybody else is hating it. Sometimes you have to go into a film and just kind of think for yourself, and that's what I did with The Upside. I'm not saying it's a great film, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a January movie, and I didn't hate it, so I'm like, oh, that's good. But here's what I want you guys to do. One, I want you to tell me, have you seen The Upside? Are you looking forward to it? And two, how much do you think I will like The Untouchables? If I actually kind of enjoyed The Upside and I found it charming, do you think I will love this movie? Comment those two things below, and I'm going to give The Upside, you know what? I'm going to give it a 62%. A slightly fresh score. Not the best movie I've ever seen, but for January, hey, you know what? It's my favorite movie of the year out of 3 films. This is number 1. Let's see how long you hold it. If you guys want to see where the other 2 movies rank, check out the link in the description below for my full 2019 list that I will be updating on a daily basis. Last year, I got up to 180 films and counting, and this year, I hope to surpass that, get up to 200, and you guys can follow that along as I go. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, comment your thoughts. Like this video if you want more reviews, because tomorrow, you will be getting them. I am planning on pushing out possibly 4 videos tomorrow, 2 on Saturday. I just figured out that If Beale Street Could Talk is in a theater near me, and you guys know I will be seeing that movie and updating my 2018 list. You guys are the absolute best, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.